Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am at an American Home Depot in Long Beach, California. And I'm gonna show you guys what products, if I was working here, what I would choose off the shelves to help you discern some of the differences between the Canadian products that I'm always showing on my channel versus the stuff that is available here, at least on the west coast of the US. So let's take a walk inside and see what there is. Okay, here we are, the beloved drywall aisle. So we got our cement board, hardy backer, probably good for fireplaces, things like that. We got the usual 5/8 fire code drywall, the 1/2 inch light drywall. This really isn't any different than the one in Canada. It's the sheetrock brand, same thing they carry up there. We got the green stuff. This is good for the walls in bathrooms, but not in your shower. Please do not ever use this stuff as backer board for your shower. That cement board I showed you earlier will work great. We got our 12-foot sheets. And what is this one? What is this one? 3/8. So they don't actually carry 3/8 and 1/4 inch in our local Home Depots. You have to go to the drywall supply to get that stuff, but they actually carry it here. So that's cool. Now this stuff is gonna be really good for a shower. It will not mold or rot. And we have the bigger sheets of it here. It's basically like cement particles mixed in with a fiberglass mesh. Yeah, we know we love the fiberglass mesh, but it's good in this case. And on the other side of the aisle, we have the mud, which is everybody's favorite product. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I see here is a one-pass wall repair. I have no idea what this stuff is, so I'm not gonna tell you what it is. But right here we have USG +3. You can find this pretty much everywhere in the States. This is a lightweight all-purpose. I use this stuff all the time. In fact, the brand I use is CGC, which is the sister brand, Canadian sister brand to USG, and it is a lightweight all-purpose. Right here, blue line wall texture, no idea. We don't do much textures where I live. But your USG +3 is a great product. So it's lightweight, meaning the buckets don't wind up really heavy. It also means it's less dense, it sands easily. It has just enough glue in it to tape with if you want to do some light taping. However, if you're taping a big job or you want it to be really strong, I would not recommend the +3. It's basically good for your next 2 coats after taping. I use this stuff all the time. The one is called Light Line All-Purpose. It's the exact same as the +3. I've come over the border and bought this stuff, taken it back, tried it. It's exactly the same. So if I lived here, this would be what I would be using for all of my coats except for taping. So let's get into what I would use for taping. Normally I would recommend the USG Green Lid. That is a heavyweight all-purpose, but here they have Westpac. So if you lift these buckets up, they are about 50% heavier than a lightweight all-purpose. You really feel it. You can feel it in the pan that it's heavier. It has a denser and slightly weirder to spread feeling. But this stuff is hard, dense, not very sandable. It will sand, but it's not easy to sand. So if I lived in the States, this is exactly what I would be using to tape. Super sticky, super dense. It's gonna create nice hard joints. And again, if I was somewhere else, it would be the USG Green Lid. Heavyweight all-purpose, great product. Right above it here, we have a lightweight all-purpose. Let's look at that. So this one is a super lightweight all-purpose. So you will notice when you pick up the box or bucket that it is actually even lighter. It is less dense even than the lightweight all-purpose. I don't like this stuff. It's just not strong. It just chips, dents, all that stuff. Not a good product. Moving on to the TNT taping and topping compound. I'm not sure what this stuff is exactly. I couldn't tell you. We don't have this one where I live. And then we've got TNT light taping and topping. Don't know what that is. It's amazing how many products there are, how many varieties there are in this Home Depot. We have way less choices where I live. Down there is just some texture. But let's get into the quick sets because again, we have a lot of variety in the quick sets here. So we have 90-minute set times for those bigger jobs, 5-minute set times for those very small quick jobs, 40-minute, and 20-minute. So this brand, Westpac, is actually the exact same as Hamilton. It is just the American one. So I highly recommend Westpac if you can find it. So it says light setting compound. Basically, once you mix this stuff with water, it's gonna start a chemical reaction and it's gonna set approximately within the numbered range on the bag. So the 5-minute, basically, if you mix it too slow, you're not gonna get it out of your pan or bucket. It's crazy stuff, but it's incredible for getting 3 or 4 coats on in an hour if you have to. I use it all the time. It's the best product for getting in and out of a job really quick. So this is Westpac, but I use the Hamilton one. Again, same product, that they have very good adhesion. It doesn't come off the wall very easily. It's got a very consistent set time. It doesn't vary very much. And it's very slightly sandable, not very sandable. So don't use this stuff for your top coat. I never paint over this product. I always use a pre-mixed product like what we've shown in the buckets, and preferably a lightweight one, because you're gonna save yourself a lot of strain on the elbow and the shoulder if you use a light product to sand. So moving on from there, we have Westpac Red Dot All-Purpose. It's just the same as what was in the bucket. The other one just gets you a bucket to use right off the bat. And then we got Green Dot Topping. Topping mud is actually a great product. Like if you have a big job and you tape everything with a heavyweight all-purpose, and then you use topping for your successive, I kind of mixed that word up. But if you use this stuff for your next coats, it doesn't bubble very much, it sands very easily. It's a very forgiving product. I like topping muds, but the reason I don't use them is because they're one-trick ponies. So if I'm using a lightweight all-purpose, at least I can tape with it in a pinch. Even heavyweight all-purpose, you can still coat with it. It's just a bear to sand. So I definitely recommend those two products. If you want a product that's really easy to sand but won't be able to tape or coat corner beads, that's another thing. You can't coat a steel corner bead with a topping mud. So that's something to consider. And in fact, I wouldn't even do my first coat on steel corner beads with a lightweight all-purpose, like +3. I would actually only use heavyweight muds to coat a steel corner bead because it's so strong and has so much glue. It's gonna be a very superior end product. So keep that in mind. Okay, next we have our various sandpapers. None of it is the kind I like, which is a foam backed sandpaper. It's all just paper. The mesh screens, garbage product. Don't even bother using it. It leaves a grid. And up here, masks, sanding sponges. You know how I feel about those. Small roll of paper tape. Various options of tape that will all fail you, mesh tape. I know you can use it sometimes, and it does work with setting muds, but at your own risk. You guys know this is the only one that I actually recommend. Fibafuse is a pretty good product. I don't see it here, but I'm a paper tape guy all the way. As for sanding sponges, we got your typical square sponge in various grits. I always sand with a fine grit sponge. We got this one with a weird grid texture on it. I probably wouldn't use that because I think it might leave lines. Angled sanding sponges, my favorite. These are the ones that I have used almost exclusively for my entire career. 3M angled drywall sanding sponges, fine. That's really all you need for sanding sponges. And we got a sanding pole. This thing feels pretty decent. It looks pretty chintzy actually. I bet I would break that in not too long just by throwing things on top of it in my van. But do yourself a favor, get a sanding pole. The job will go way faster and your work will be flatter. So what I meant was, I never use these things. I wouldn't bother. A sanding pole is way more versatile. I bought one of these when I was brand new in the trade and I never used it since I bought it. Steel pans, they're good. Steel knives, they're good. We got the stainless ones, which cost a little more, and we got the blue steel, which in my opinion feel better and coat better, but they take more maintenance because they will rust. So clean them and keep them dry. As for taping knives, this one seems more durable and maybe a bit more comfortable. This is the shape that I like, but this one feels really cheap, like it's gonna crack. So these solid steel ones, they're gonna cost you $5 more a piece, but they're way better, seriously. Get these ones, they're gonna last you forever. Okay, as for mixing paddles, this one actually looks pretty decent. So right here, it doesn't have any majorly sharp edges, so it's not gonna be, you know, peeling little strips off your bucket, leaving what looks like shredded coconut in your buckets. Having a tape reel is pretty handy. I use these all the time. Texture hopper, these work, they're not bad, but you kind of need a special compressor that most of us don't have. And knives, wall patches. I've never used one of these in my entire career. I really don't see the point. So I know some of you are thinking, Ben, what about trowels? You're always using trowels in the videos. And it's true, I am. If you're in the States and you don't have like a proper drywall trowel, nice flat one, I would recommend just using knives. They're more intuitive, user-friendly, easier to learn. But if you really want to go the route of using a trowel, let me show you what you can easily find in Home Depot. It's not going to be as good as the ones I use, but it will get the job done. So here you have a hawk, aluminum hawk to hold your mud. And then we do have a trowel here, but it's a curved trowel. You guys probably can't see that because of the plastic, but it's got a hook in it. So the only thing a curved trowel is good for is for doing flat joints, like the tapered beveled seams, nice long ones. It leaves a slightly larger amount of compound in the middle of the joint where it shrinks the most, but they're primarily a one-trick pony. They can be used on corner beads. Where they don't work well is when you start having to tie in joints and float out large areas because they're curved. So that curved edge that dips down is always going to dig into the compound when you're trying to do wide feathered joints. So if you're lucky, you might find something in the concrete masonry aisle. Okay, so I did find a trowel in there, but it was so close to the music inside the place, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get demonetized if I filmed there. But they did have a Goldblatt 13 by 5-inch trowel that had a straight edge. The only problem is, I can't remember what this part is called, but the magnesium part in the center didn't quite extend far enough out to the end of the trowel. So the trowel had a lot of flex in it, which wouldn't be the end of the world. It would still work really well, but it didn't feel quite as high quality as the trowels that I usually use. I've got some old Curry trowels. Marshalltown makes some good trowels. You just wanna look for a 13 by 5 straight trowel. Like if you're only gonna buy one trowel that size, 13-inch by 5-inch is a great all-purpose size. So I highly recommend those. Marshalltown, the gold steel ones, those are a good one. Just make sure it's stainless and make sure it's not a curved drywall trowel. Some people love them, but I've always found them pretty useless. Anyways, that's it. That is drywall muds at an American Home Depot. Although what I've heard is if I even just go, you know, a few miles over to Riverside, I'm gonna find totally different products at a different store. Anyways, hopefully this clarifies something for you guys, or you found it interesting to see me talking about US products. I just wanna say a big thanks for watching. I got a lot of interesting stuff coming out both on this channel and the skateboard channel. It's been a crazy trip. I've been down here in Southern California for 12 days. Super grateful, super honored to meet all the people I've met. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Till the next one, you guys.